You're watching the Do Roboti channel and you know, well, that sports are not my strong suit. If I had some training, maybe it would be better. He hustled. That's why I spent half a year making this episode, to show you in real life what the job of a personal trainer looks like, and secondly, to show you how I got in shape for the summer over those 6 months. So, what now? Let's get to work.
Training is monotonous, tedious work.
Each training session should be tougher since I'm becoming more warmed up and limbered up.
We don't touch any carbs, that's poison, that's what makes people fat. When a patient comes to the doctor, the first thing they get is a whole bag of different medications.
He has his own private gym, he's been involved in sports for over 50 years, and he's been a personal trainer for 25 years. 4-time European Judo champion, and in 2018 in Mexico, he won the Veteran Judo World Championship. Jacek Gemza, I'm about to see him for a personal training session where he'll put me through my paces and you'll see what his job involves. Hello, nice to meet you, hi.
Hello.
I came for a tough workout. I heard you don't go easy on people.
Don't worry, it'll be just right.
I told viewers this is your private gym and you spend most of your day here.
That's an exaggeration, not the whole day, just from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
7 p.m., so almost the whole day. And your trainees who come here to the gym, you're available for them, right? Because that's right, I am. It's not one-on-one training, let's say the whole gym is yours.
I mean, practically it's one-on-one, but if there are other people, I'm able to make it so that everyone gets as much attention as they need.
Okay, but it's not, let's say, an hour with a personal trainer, it's not that style.
It's not that style, no.
So you're also not one of those trainers from YouTube videos who take a month-long course, you have 25 years of experience.
No. Trainers like that should be removed. To be called a trainer, you should have at least completed a coaching degree at the Academy of Physical Education, though that's only basic. So if someone has just taken a course and is running training sessions, the law should crack down on them. That's what I think.
In this episode, we'll see what personal training with someone that experienced is like. Can I handle it? We'll find out at the end.
Will you be able to handle it? For sure, because by definition you have to handle it, since I never push anyone too hard because there's no point in that. Some personal trainers boast about pushing clients so hard at first that they can't walk for 2 weeks, but that's not the point. The point is for you to understand that you should exercise your whole life because it brings a lot of benefits, mainly when it comes to your health.
All right, then there's no point in waiting. Let's get to work.
Change in the locker room and we'll start. You stand in the middle. Yes, that's it.
All right.
8-5-5.
I'd rather work on my fitness to get my physical condition in better shape.
Sure, and my physique, that too. Everything's clear?
Everything's clear, so you know what to do?
Exactly.
Let's go to the gym then.
Let's start. Let's get right to it. Now, this is a kind of diet outline. You'll be looking into it. However, as part of our cooperation, I'm providing you with a diet for the first 5 days because I need to teach you how to eat. That's 90% of success in physique sports, and during these 5 days, you need to get the hang of how to do it. Later, you'll either buy this diet for yourself or prepare it on your own, just like that. As you learn, 70 people follow this diet. If someone doesn't follow it, no matter what they do, nothing will come of it.
Training alone isn't enough, though it does help.
But not a whole lot. Not everyone even realizes that training can actually give you a whole lot. However, it's the diet that really gives you a 100% result.
All right, so we'll get to the diet. Now let's start with the exercises. Exactly.
We start with a warm-up. You get on the elliptical. After only 2 workouts, I already know exactly what I can and can't do.
Okay, but do you plan out this workout for, let's say, the next month?
We start with a 2-day cycle, splitting the body into 2 parts. On day 1, we train one half of the body. On day 2, the other half. On day 3, we rest, then repeat 2 training days and 1 rest day.
But is it like you give your trainees, I don't know, a sheet of paper telling them which exercises to do or not, or how does it work?
No, I dictate it to you the whole time. I'm right there with you. Sometimes when I go away, I write out the training plan. I write it out for people so they know what to do, so they don't have a break and know exactly what they should be doing. Not on the spot. Take the smaller one, stand up, grab the handle like this, and do your biceps. Okay, and a few times extend arms straight forward. A few times.
And what if people come with some ailments? I don't know, a sore arm?
Once my spine was in such a condition that the doctor, after seeing my x-ray, said I wouldn't be able to walk anymore. The vertebrae was so compressed with lordosis that the nerves had nowhere to go, and she said I wouldn't be able to walk anymore. Okay, but I still, train competitively. I now do exercises that she would have thought were crazy if I told her back then. I had to study and analyze it, and because of that, I already have a few people here whom I saved from spinal surgery, people who came to me. With lower back pain, I have several dozen cases.
And if you were to calculate it as a percentage, are most of your clients those who want to get in shape, or rather overweight people who want to do something about it?
No, as you so nicely put it, more the fat crowd. 20% really struggle to stick to the diet. 80, 70% stick to it, and then it's a complete success. But let's say 1 out of 10%, it's so hard that it's really difficult to deal with.
The diet is one thing, but to actually come here and start, that's probably the hardest part.
No, I have hundreds of people like that who say they'll come, but they never actually show up, okay? Exactly. It's very good. All right, that's enough. Don't live.
We also signed up my dad for training with Jacek, our personal trainer and the hero of this episode. You might recognize him from various episodes in the series about renovating and finishing our house. 130 kilos of body weight and already 2 or 3 kilos less, so you can see the results. This is serious business. Which client do you prefer and which do you like less? For example, is the client aiming for major weight loss more challenging?
Losing weight when you're really overweight, if someone sticks to the diet, that's the least of the problems. There have been hundreds of people, they've lost 20, 30, 40, even 80 kilos. A guy lost 80 kilos, only through diet and training. And like I said, that's the least of the problems. To actually build a physique, well, that takes real effort. I have a few people like that who have built a great physique, but that's a matter of work, at least a year.
You've worked as a personal trainer for 25 years?
I mean, I've been gaining knowledge since I was 9 years old. I earned it through hard training and by attending the University of Physical Education for 11 years, completing 2 majors. After graduating from the University of Physical Education, I still needed to keep learning.
But you started when you were 9, right? So those were your first training sessions?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, yes.
What was it, judo?
Judo, yeah, always. Above all, we avoid chemicals, we avoid sugar, and we avoid salt. So, besides trying to buy everything at an organic store, we still carefully read the labels to make sure there are no artificial additives, no added sugar, and nothing that's too salty. We don't touch any cold cuts, that's poison. We don't touch chicken. And the next rule is that I eat at least 5 times a day. You have to balance the size of your meals so that you don't end up like some people do. In the morning, they just drink coffee. Then, if they don't want to eat, in the evening they eat everything at once, and that's how you produce overweight people. Every meal has to be complete. Every meal must have low glycemic carbs and must have protein. There should be about 2 grams of protein for every kilogram of body weight. But we'll master all of this in detail later, because when you start getting these meals, we won't be counting anything, we won't be measuring. Once you know what the meals should look like, you'll easily prepare them yourself. We won't be counting calories like some do, since it doesn't make sense. Now, here's the thing. Sir, can you manage to eat a sample breakfast like this? Because our breakfast is simple, sacred, and for now, it's practically always the same. They'll make you an egg white pancake so you can see how it's supposed to be. I'll explain how to make it and what it should look like. I've come to the point where I show it to everyone because some women were doing all kinds of crazy things, and when it turned out what they were doing without, so to speak, a demonstration, one, for example, would put the eggs in a glass, add the flakes, mix it, and boom. There are many ways, so I prefer to show it for accuracy.
I have a question for you, and I'm sure the viewers do too, because you say things like, we don't count or check from 2 to 6 eggs, so how?
Let's say, because I need a few days to feel it out, and you do too, to figure out what amount is optimal for you. If we tried to count it, we'd count ourselves to death. But if we do it the way I approach it, we'll definitely find an amount that's right for you. So depending on how your body reacts on the scale, we'll adjust the amount of those ingredients accordingly. Because as for the quality and what they should be, we already know that for sure. Okay. The only important thing is how much we'll use.
My friends, we've had breakfast. Next, there'll be more training sessions until you see the final or semi-final result at the end of the episode. So hang in there and let's keep going. It's getting harder and harder. From one training session to the next, it should be getting easier, I think, because I'm getting more and more warmed up and stretched out, but it's actually getting worse because we're doing 5, 6, 7 sets. Thanks for watching. Jacek, I was going to say these exercises are monotonous, but today you did something different.
Training is monotonous, tedious work. If you think there will be a lot of fancy stuff or variety here, there won't be. Apparently, what you hate but have to do, you should do as if you love it.
And as for cardio and improving your fitness, since we always have strength exercises here, that's why cardio is, let's say, 15 to 20 minutes after the workout.
I said 20 minutes minimum.
Yeah, I wasn't listening. Is it something like at least 20 or 30 minutes during the week?
If you come on days other than those just for cardio, that's very good. Then you're also burning body fat. And in that case, you can even come on an empty stomach. Love it. Okay.
What I've noticed over the last 3 weeks of training is that this gym and in general your personality is quite unusual because you're not a typical personal trainer who schedules an hour with someone and comes for a session. Instead, you're here in your gym almost from morning till evening and you do this every day. It's no exaggeration, you come here every day, even on holidays like New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, maybe not at 7 but by 8:30 every day.
Training doesn't take holidays. From Monday to Friday, I'm practically here from 6 in the morning until 7 in the evening. At 7 in the evening, I usually go to my own training, and on Saturdays and holidays, I'm here from 7 or 8 until about 2 in the afternoon. Everyone comes whenever it suits them, simply.
But are there also times when, for example, you just sit and, I don't know, you have 2 hours of free time because no one comes? Well, yes.
I try to make sure that free time is somewhere between 12 and 3 during those hours.
So do you have time for yourself?
Yeah, I have some time for other things as well.
Other businesses, let's say you spread it out. Right? Because if you spend the whole day here, you could call it a basement, then you don't really have time, I don't know, for a private life, for life after work. No.
It's not that bad. There are still a few hours in the day, so I can manage.
Well, from 7 to 7 when he's at the gym and then his own training at 7 p.m.
What did you say? And I usually do another workout at noon, my second one.
In your professional, personal, and training life, you've had a lot of successes, a lot of medals and trophies, but which one brought you the greatest satisfaction, or which one made you the happiest because you worked so long to achieve it?
When it comes to sports, I think my biggest success was winning the Veterans World Championship in Mexico, where I beat a Russian in the final. And I believe that's my greatest success. Besides that, I also won gold once more at the Veterans World Championships, and I think I won gold 4 times at the Veterans European Championships. In this Olympic discipline, I was on the podium several times in Poland, meaning I won medals at the Polish Championships. Thanks to that, I managed to get into the national B team, so to speak, and stay there for a while.
That's encouraging for anyone who's started but hasn't succeeded yet, since you waited nearly 55 years for your biggest achievement. At what age did you win that one in Mexico?
Yes, exactly. So,
don't get discouraged if you haven't achieved yours yet.
Not giving up is the key, that's exactly right.
Yes. As you mentioned, your most significant life medal came at age 55 during the Veterans competition in Mexico. And what about your successes in business? Just like you told us about sports. In business too, I personally know you've done a lot. Music clubs, management, a hotel, a gym. What was your biggest life success? I mean, well...
All those successes were together with my business partner, Rafal, and I think those were the 2 best nightclubs at the time, Bravo and Guarek. People know about that anyway. There was a time when people from all over southern Poland would come to Bravo. Definitely. And now the hotel is also undoubtedly a success.
You co-owned that nightclub and managed it as what?
We divided things with my partner. He did some things. He still does them today. And I also handled some things.
What did you enjoy most about running that club?
The fact that I brought joy to a few thousand people at the same time, that they were having a great time.
Do you ever get people who come in and for some reason you flat out say, no, you're not going to take this seriously?
Yes, there is a percentage like that. I think it's about 1 in 10, so 10%. Well, there's such an unrelenting love for food there that I just can't get past it. Because if someone is not able to stick to any kind of diet at all and just overeats, then no matter what I do here, nothing will come of it. Luckily, there aren't many like that.
Even if they offer to pay or pretend to train, you let it go because it doesn't matter to you, right?
I never let it go, okay? There were also people who, for example, trained for 3 months, nothing was working, because unfortunately, the most important thing is for the person to say, listen, I can't manage in the evening, I have to eat something, and then we know what's going on. The worst are those who claim they're in a calorie deficit but don't lose weight, as if they're a perpetual motion machine getting energy from the sun to offset that 500 calorie deficit, even though they insist they're not eating.
So there's always a way out.
There is a way out.
It also often happens, Jacek, that people who are, let's say, overweight and have some problems, I don't know, with diabetes and so on, first go to doctors. What's your attitude towards medicine as the go-to approach instead of training?
Well, unfortunately, considering the current trends in medicine and the general attitude of doctors, we have to say that, well, it's unacceptable to me. Because a patient comes to the doctor and the first thing they get is a whole bag of different medications, which do more harm than good. We have plenty of such examples here. We have 4 people who have completely recovered from diabetes, and the doctors are surprised. For example, yesterday my friend Beata checked her blood sugar. For a year and a half, she did all possible tests, and at the age of 55, all her test results are textbook perfect. The doctor said everything is perfect, especially that she doesn't have any diabetes or insulin resistance. When the doctor was told that a year and a half earlier there was full-blown diabetes, the doctor, since it was a different doctor who had examined her before, said that it was impossible, that it must have been a medical error. That if this lady's test results are like this now, it proves that it's impossible for her to have ever had diabetes. This shows just how strangely doctors are trained.
Exactly, but do you think doctors lack the awareness to encourage people to be more active instead of just taking medications, or are they instructed from above to push these drugs?
Well, I think they have some kind of preset programs, even information. They're actually trained that way, so in their view, you can't cure diabetes at all, or at least not in that way. And like I said, I have 4 cases here of people fully recovering from diabetes. I have dozens of cases of insulin resistance, and anyone can come and verify this.
Here's another example. My dad, whom we mentioned at the start of this episode. We can have him step on the scale and see how much he managed to lose over these 3 months.
That's 20 kilograms down.
112.3. If you remember correctly, it was 132.3.
What have I done?
200 kilos.
Not only can you, let's say, take care of your figure, but you can also lose weight. You remember my dad from the beginning of this video? We'll also ask him quickly here because we wanted to show you how the coach really works with people, what those workouts were like, and the pressure.
Intense, very intense. The workouts were perfectly matched to my own endurance. I never had any muscle soreness. In my opinion, that's a fantastic thing because the next day I would come to training full of energy and strength, really looking forward to it. Plus the diet. The combination of a regular diet and regular exercise gave me this result. After 3 months, I lost 20 kilos.
At what age? That's also important. At what age?
At the age of 62. So
that's also worth mentioning.
63 in September, so now I'm still 62.
So that also needs to be emphasized. As you can see, we're not getting this information about Jacek out of nowhere. We're not saying maybe that's how it is without proving it. I specifically invited my dad to this training session so that in the course of this whole episode, we can show what it looks like in real life. This is one of the longest episodes I've ever made on my channel Do Robody, over 5 months, but I took so long to make it just to show you real work. Not just that there's a coach who talks and that's how it looks, but using myself, my dad, and other people who train here as examples, we showed your real attitude. Really, as you can see, you can write in the comments if you notice the progress from the beginning of this episode until now. But moving on to the finale, I wanted to talk to you about the business side of the job. Do personal trainers charge by the hour? Do you buy a gym pass for something like 99 or 150 zlotys for a month of training, which lets you enter the gym? Plus, I don't know, 150 or 200 zlotys per hour with a personal trainer. How does that work in your case?
The minimum isn't an hourly rate. The minimum is a month of work, and that's where we start. If someone is determined the current price for a month of work is 1,350 zlotys, I am responsible for the training, I am responsible for the diet. Different people come through. There are people who start training and it lasts 4 minutes because continuing the training any longer could mean calling an ambulance. I also have people who are already trained, and sometimes they even start with an hour-long workout. But usually at the beginning, the training lasted about 20 to 30 minutes.
But on the one hand, let's say the amount seems large, but when you compare it to the number of hours you would spend with a personal trainer by the hour.
Considering some people exercise twice daily, it's not much. But if they work out 3 or 4 times a week on average, you can figure out the cost per workout. I get a specific client, and I can't imagine any other approach than wanting them to get results. I know you get frustrated and upset when difficult cases don't work out, because that does happen, right?
And digging even deeper into this business approach, since you're here all the time, let's say from morning till evening, how does it all add up? Do you feel happy for people who succeed and get fit, or is your motivation money, or has money become less important and now you do it mainly out of passion?
I mean, I've already run businesses where I made a lot of money. Now, so to speak, money is just a completely incidental side effect. People who know me understand that what matters most to me are the results these people achieve, as that's what truly makes me happy. Someone might say that I'm bragging, showing off, and so on, but I think I already have well over 100 people here who simply got their health back. They all got their health back. And several hundred people have lost weight, as I said, between 10 and 80 kilograms.
You mentioned your former businesses, so is this more like active retirement or something else?
You could say that. Considering my age, it really is an active retirement.
As we're getting to the end of this interview, I have a question for you, Jacek. If someone young wanted to become a personal trainer, not necessarily like you, but just a personal trainer in general, what do you think they need to do to become one?
That's a very difficult question you've asked me, because I think that to become any kind of trainer, personal or otherwise, the basic requirement to call yourself a trainer is to at least complete a coaching program at the Academy of Physical Education. Then, years and years of experience, and it's best if you also practice the discipline yourself. Then there's a chance that someone who will be deciding about people's effort in this area will do it properly and won't harm anyone. And looking at the hordes of coaches from online courses, I strongly advise against using the services of such people because, to put it mildly, it's dangerous.
Well, yes, but not everyone has, let's say, 50 years of experience like you to become a coach. And there are a lot of people who want to train under someone's supervision. So what, should we exclude those young people who are coaches? Or...
I mean, yes, I think the law should make it mandatory that anyone who wants to be a coach should have some basic qualifications. It can't just be an online course.
Where does the money come from when passion is involved? Sure, you can earn money, but how does it work in sports? We're passionate about practicing judo and karate.
Now we're moving on to a completely different topic, which is the economic realities of participating in different sports. Well, unfortunately, these days, fame leads to making money. And if someone wants to pursue a discipline out of passion that doesn't bring in money, and unfortunately that's the case with most disciplines in this country, then they need to get funding from somewhere. I don't know, they have to earn money themselves, have a rich dad, or find sponsors.
So on one hand, it's a cool, interesting episode that we showed, an interesting person, but on the other hand, it's a really tough nut to crack. To even get to a stage like you did, you really need to have funding from different sources.
To even show up. At a certain point, I had to give up sports because when my child was born, I had to focus on business.
My dear friends, if you're from Gliwice or the surrounding area, of course we invite you to train with Jacek at his gym. The contact information is of course in the description of this episode and everywhere else too. What should you do to take care of your physique? Summing up in 2 or 3 sentences.
Give me a call.
Make a call, exercise, get yourself together and get to work.
And it really works.
This is Wojtek Kaczmarczyk. I'm really glad you made it to the very end. Thank you for watching this video, and I encourage you to check out more videos on the Do Roboty channel. Watch the next video to see more interesting things I recorded. Bye.